Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Deshaun Gray, who will fight on Fury Challenger Series 16, June 26th. Hello, Deshaun. How are you?
What's going on, man? I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you will have, I think, that really interesting fight in just few weeks. And if you can tell me, because last time you thought it was December, and I believe then you were scheduled to fight in January, right?
Yes, I was. I was scheduled to fight January. Something happened with that fight. I guess they wanted to fight me. They wanted to push it back or something. So my coaches were like, "Nah, we're gonna just find a different matchup." Um, it was something on their end. I don't know what really went down, but I take whatever they give me. So if it falls through, it falls through. We go to the next matchup, and I just try to fight whoever they offer.
And
Yeah,
uh, and this fight, when did you find out about it?
I found out about this fight about 3 weeks ago. Yeah, about 3 weeks ago, last month.
So like time-wise, probably it's like good training camp, right? Because it will be
Right.
around 6 weeks.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I'm getting a good camp in this camp. Absolutely. Usually, I take my fights about around 3 weeks. I try to be as active as I can, but this one they gave me. I got a little time to get ready. Absolutely.
Yes, and sometimes it's like, especially on the regional scene, that you don't have just don't have too much time to prepare. It's like you said,
Right.
3 weeks or sometimes even less.
Yeah.
So it's good that probably the like fans can see the best version of you.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. That's it. That's it. Right. And I get this matchup. I feel like it's a good matchup. It's not something that I haven't seen before. So it's really I don't really have to worry about seeing a new style that I have to prepare for. This is kind of something I've been used to, so I feel like I'm gonna be fully prepared for this. Absolutely.
And you are undefeated in Fury. You won two fights, two
Right.
by finishes. And actually, your
Right.
fight against Vils was kind of crazy because you looked great, like in the first and in the second
Ooh,
round. And then there was one moment that he was like quite, I think that quite close with the submission at the
yeah,
end.
caught me with a triangle. Then an arm bar. Yeah, that was pretty scary. On everybody else's and on my end, I knew I wasn't gonna tap. It was a slick submission. He was a good jiu-jitsu practitioner, very slick off his back. So we knew that going into the fight. We knew we had to be very cautious going into that fight. Doing the plan was just keep it on the feet. I was getting a little too overzealous trying to get the finish, but so I ended up getting caught in the triangle. But I'm not tapping. You gonna have to rip my arm out the socket. I'm not tapping for nothing, right? My whole family was there, and it was just motivation that I got to get out of this. I got to get up. You know.
But I think that this is great because not only you are finishing people, but even the fans can like remember you as the guy who definitely will not quit in the fight. So
Exactly.
it
Right.
was actually, I think, that big moment.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It was good. Showed I got some heart. I got some dog in me. Yep. You know what I mean? I'm a dog too. I'm a practitioner. I'm technical. I'm technical. Yeah. I can be pretty. I can stay on the outside, but I can get dirty. It comes down to it.
And about Fury, because of course it is like really big regional promotion. So after the fight, do you think that your next fight will be also in this promotion?
Yes, I believe. Yeah, I believe so. We're trying to. I like Fury a lot. I plan on trying to stay with them as long as I can, and I plan on fighting with them. My plan is to get to the UFC through them. So yeah, I want to stay in for Fury and get all my fights, the rest of my fights through them. I love this promotion. A lot of exposure, a lot of good matchups, and just a lot of good people. Man, they take care of us. Yep.
And about your next opponent, he's 3-1, so it's like the same record as you. But
Right.
when you watched his fight, do you think that he can be like maybe a threat in some positions, or that overall he can be like a really good test for you?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I think so. He's very good grappler. Very good. Looks strong. Very good. Gets dominant positions on top. Real good. But at the same time, I've faced this type of style before. Especially as a striker. I'm a predominant striker. Most people would want to fight me or grapplers. They think then they see my fights. They're like, okay, I could probably take him down. But when they get in the cage, it's another story. I actually enjoy it. I enjoy a lot of people, strikers, they may not enjoy fighting a fighter like that. They're worried about, I don't want to fight a grappler, get taken down, and that be the whole fight, right? Just me trying to get out of positions. But I enjoy it. I enjoy getting that, being that test, having that test, especially something that I'm not predominant in. Because as I rise, these are things I'm gonna run into. So I enjoy it. It's something I've done since I've been an amateur. And all I say is, if you better pray to God you can hold me down and keep me down. Because when we get back up, it's another story, right? So I don't mind it, and we're prepared for him. We're prepared for anywhere it goes. To the ground, standing up. This is what, this is what we do, right?
And like obviously, you are like really good striker. You finished the opponents on the feet.
Right.
But was it like the first combat sport that you ever trained? So maybe like kickboxing, maybe Muay Thai.
Right. So I did boxing first. I was a boxer. I boxed. I did USA boxing for a few years, and then I went into Muay Thai. Right. Kickboxing, Muay Thai. So those are my two, like, favorites. My first loves right there. It was Muay Thai and boxing. Yeah.
So about grappling, when you started this part of the game, so wrestling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, how do you like it at the beginning?
Hey, at first I wasn't a big fan of it. It's funny. When I started boxing, I never thought I'd be doing MMA. I mean, my dad was a pro fighter, so and he was a pro boxer, did pro MMA as well. And when I boxing, I always say, man, I'd watch people getting kicked and grappling. I was like, I'll never do that. But it's funny. It just happened like that naturally. Um, so after I boxed from about around 18 to about 21, I did boxing and Muay Thai, and then at 22, I started doing sambo. That was the first time I ever experienced MMA. I looked up the nearest gym next to me and happened to be a sambo gym. Started doing sambo, and it's the first time I got a taste of what grappling was like. Um, and at first it was kind of tough. Yeah, it was hard trying to get my footing there. It was a totally different experience than it was striking. But after a while, I actually fell in love with it. I fell in love with wrestling, especially the wrestling aspect of it. A couple years going by, I trained with James Vick a lot. Him showing me a lot of he showed me a lot of get ups, a lot of wrestling techniques. Then I met some actual collegiate wrestlers. My boy QP, he's the head coach at Texas Wesleyan here in Fort Worth. Great wrestler. I learned a lot from him, and that's when I started really falling in love with the wrestling aspect of things. And I love it. Actually, love wrestling. See, people think I am a predominant striker, but I can grapple, and I enjoy it. You know.
Yes, it's like there is not possibility to be just a striker or just a grappler right now
Right.
because you definitely your career not will be like the long one. And
Exactly.
even if you have this kind of style, it's like obvious that you have some tricks in like other departments.
Right. Right. Exactly. And I still haven't got to use all of my grappling. So it's something I still got in my back pocket. A lot of my fights I've used a little bit, but there's some things I got still that I intend on I even intend on growing from there. I'm gonna get better and grow. And I got the goal is to be a well-rounded fighter, and these are the dudes I'm gonna run into as I rise and face more challenging opponents. They're gonna be well-rounded. I have to be ready for everything, not just striking.
And if you can tell me more about the gym that right now you are training in, so maybe if you can mention like some coaches and maybe prospects like you, the fighters that can be like successful in the future.
Right. So I'm training at Squabble MMA with Kevin Holland. So it's Kevin Holland gym. He's one of my coaches, and also my coach DP. His name's Derek. That's my main coach, and also I train with my father as well. He's my boxing coach, so I go over there. I bounce it back and forth. But during the day I go do my boxing training. Then I come in the evening and train at my gym, and that's Squabble MMA. Right, and that's with my three coaches, and the people I'm training with right now. We got my boy Magi. He's a pro. I believe he's 2-2. He's a 2-2 pro right now. And then we got my boy Tyson, Aaron. These guys are real sharp. These are well-rounded fighters as well, and these are the type of people that I'm training with every day. They push me. They pushed me to my limits, especially in the grappling areas and things like that. They pushed me very well. A lot of jiu-jitsu. My jiu-jitsu coach is named Jerry. Um, he's a high level jiu-jitsu practitioner. So especially Kevin. Kevin is very good at jiu-jitsu. He comes from the looter system, um, and I learned a lot from him in jiu-jitsu. And in striking, I got my coach DP and then my dad. So I'm getting a lot of different things from different people, different looks, and that's the most important thing I think as a fighter. All fighters should get that. I think if you stay and box yourself in and stay with just one person, one style, I think you're just stunning your growth. You need to go and get different pieces and train with different people, different looks, push you in different areas you're not used to, right? Or that you are used to. This is how you grow as a fighter and become well rounded.
And of course, like you mentioned, Kevin Holland, and I think what he did in like last few years, it was something unbelievable because not only he's like the most active fighter, but he got also this kind of crazy like finishes like against Jacare, what is like
Yeah.
on this level is almost not possible to see. And he finished him
Right.
like this, and probably when he's on, he can beat almost every fighter from probably
Right.
like welterweight or even middleweight division.
Yeah. Yeah. He's wild. He's a wild person. He'll fight anybody, anytime, anywhere. You just say the word. He's just like that, and that mentality though is good to have. It trickles down to all his fighters. That's how our gym atmosphere is. Is we need to stay active. We need to fight. We're fighters. We don't care. Excuse me, I have dogs and stuff, but it don't matter. It don't matter who is in front of us. We fight. We fight whatever they give us, and that's the mentality we got to have. I try to stay as active as possible because the more you don't, some fighters they fight, they may take one fight, they wait a couple months. Here lately is the most I've ever been not active, but it was due to some injuries, some mishaps, some things. This is the most I've never, probably 2 months is the most I haven't, fought, been active. But some fighters, they fight and they take some months off, and I think that kind of sets you back. You need to stay in that rhythm. You need to, it's nothing like ring time. It's nothing like being in the ring, and that's what we need to do. Especially being with Kevin Holland, you're gonna fight, right? You're gonna. He tells all of us, why you need to fight. You need to stay in the gym. You need to get a fight. After this fight, if I win, when I win this fight, I'm gonna backdoor and fight in August. Backdoor and fight the next month. That's the goal, and that's what we should do as fighters: is stay ready. Not fight, make weight, then blow up, and then having to cut weight again. No, we should stay ready. Kevin Holland, he stays ready all year. He stays around his weight all year, and he trains. He's ready to fight. He's ready whenever he gets that call. He's ready to go, and that's the same for us. All of his fighters try to, we walk around with that mentality.
And of course, with this kind of activity, you could get to the like biggest promotions, so like the UFC, like quite soon. But do you have something like a timeline for this? So when would you like to get to the UFC?
Man, I'm thinking my goal. So what I have in mind is by next year, and I'm gonna fight as much as I can this year, and hopefully by the end of this year, I can get that call and stay as I plan to go on a 3-fight win streak again. Take me to 6-1 or whatever. However how much I need to fight. But my goal is to become 6-1 this year. Go 3-0 on a 3-fight win streak this year again, and get that call. That's my goal. But by next year, that's the latest. I'm getting my goal is to get to UFC by next year and no later.
Yes, and definitely with your like fan-friendly style, it's definitely like UFC fans would love to see you there. So
Right.
probably it's like a matter of like good winning streaks. So maybe a few more wins, and I think that definitely it would be like a good place for you.
Right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And are you overall like the UFC fans? So do you watch big pay-per-view like in all systems big pay-per-view cards?
Yeah, I always watch, and I watch everyone that comes on. I try to at least, even the just the even the fight night cards I watch. I just like to see what they're doing at the highest level, what I can take from it. I watch a lot of times just to study, to study, see who's in my weight class, kind of give an idea of who would I be facing, and I take that in. I study fighters like Sean O'Malley, Peter Yan, even Marab, fighters like those like that. My weight class. These are the guys that I'm planning to fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm shooting for the stars.
So Sean O'Malley against Aiemann Zahabi. What do you think about this?
I think that's a good fight. I think it's a good fight. I feel like I'm pushing for Sean O'Malley because his footwork is so good. His range is his distance control, his range, and his feints are so good. That's a nightmare for anybody to deal with, right? Even somebody. What's the other guy's name? How do you pronounce the other guy's name?
Aiemann Zahabi.
Oh, yeah, Aiemann Zahabi. Yes, so he's good. He's tough. He's good. I like him a lot, but I feel like it's gonna be a challenge to him to close that distance, and he can't get still in front of Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley's very active, very, changes levels, switches stances. It'd be hard. It's hard to box someone like that in. So I feel like O'Malley's just gonna have to either make it dirty or don't stay still. You play the chess match and try to make him make a mistake and encounter timing. I think that if timing would be in his favor if he times him well. But Sean O'Malley is just he's high level, and I watch someone like him a lot. As eccentric as he is, and as goofy as he is, and as he's entertaining as he is, he's very high level. Watch his footwork, watch his feints. The whole fight he feints. The whole fight he moves. The whole fight, the entire fight he doesn't stay still. And I try to emulate that. I try to take some of those attributes as well in my style. And yeah, I feel like he's a nightmare for anybody that in that division.
Yes, and actually, probably like bantamweight is the best, the most interesting division in the UFC. There are a lot of like great fighters, a lot of like prospects who are ranked right now. And of course, like the kind of like skill level, speed level, it's not a heavyweight division. So
Right.
definitely like it's like the most entertaining one.
Right. Man, exactly. It is. It is. There's a lot of people in that weight class. That I'm eyeing. There's a lot of you got Peyton, you got Wellmaker, you got the dude that beat Wellmaker. I forgot his name. He's good. He's good. He's the first one that beat him. Um, that he was a war, and he's a construction worker as well. That dude is good. His footwork and his change level changes, and you know his head movement is real good. So that weight class is deep. It's deep. Yeah, there's some good fighters in there. Even the prospects, even the dudes that aren't even ranked are pretty good. So yeah, it's an interesting weight class. I love it. I can fight at bantamweight. I can fight at 45 as well. So there's people in 45. I'm looking at as well. So I don't. But my goal is to be in bantamweight. Yeah, stay in bantamweight.
And
Mm-hmm.
and like outside of being a fighter, what do you like to do when you have a little bit like more free time?
Oh man, I like to do this right here. I like to read. I like to make music. I like to, me and my family, me and my brothers. I have a large family, so I have like 10, 11 siblings. And, me and my family, we like to kick it. We like to make music, me and my brothers. Um, I like to, go outside. I love being outdoors. I'm outside all the time, fishing, hunting, catching snakes and doing crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's what my family does is we country folk. So we outside all the time. I'm outdoors taking hikes, camping, things like that when the weather's nice. But yeah, those are the things I love to do when I'm not fighting. I'm not in the gym.
So definitely good things for your brain, for your head, because now
Right, exactly.
it's like good to be out of the game and do something, especially on the something outside, because you can a little bit
Yes.
just be a little bit more happy there.
Yeah, right. You can release. Just it's good to step away sometimes. It's good. You gotta train every day. You gotta be consumed by it. You gotta be obsessed with it. But sometimes you gotta, release. You gotta take that little. You gotta take that break and just clear your mind a little bit, and then so you can allow for new things to come in. Right. We can't just force everything. And sometimes it's okay to relax. Take a day out, take a day or two where you go on a walk, go outside and go kick it by the lake or something. Go fishing for a little bit. Me and my brother's always fishing all the time, and something we love to do. And it's just good just to rewind, and then right back to it again. Right back to practice, right back to that mentality. Eat, sleep, work, and have fun. That's the goal. You know.
Okay, Deshaun, so many thanks for the time and for conversation. I think that your next fight definitely would be it will be interesting one, and of course I will hope that you will get another finish, maybe without a submission attempt, but definitely a finish.
Yeah. I hope not. Yeah, that we're not getting caught in that no more. Now this fight, I feel very confident. I feel like it's gonna be a dominant performance, and my plan is to get him out of there. If the knockout comes, it comes. I don't force the knockout, but I'm very confident that it'll be there, and when it's there, I'm gonna take it.